let me know in chat. I'll switch over to him so we can see how they do. See, for qualifying, it's all about setting the quickest lap and the first clean lap. Let's see who gets to start on pole. There's obviously round 1, so there's no points up for anyone at the moment. All starting afresh. What I might do is probably start off by watching Luca, who is obviously our reigning champion. And again, anyone you guys want me to review, let me know. I'll have a quick look through the grid so you can see all the cars. You'll have to bear with me, this is my first time streaming. There he is. Reigning champion, holding on for number 1, of course. Yeah, let's see how they do in qualifying. Of course, with cars setting their first laps now, it's going to get a bit manic at the top with all the switch around, so who's in first, etc. Stands. Pole is being held by Field or Fireball. Celebrating his birthday today. To go through lap 4, let's just check it out. So we've got Ash and Pole currently, followed by Ryan, followed by Phil Garside, Jake, first season of Mercedes, first full season. Last season he was just a reserve drive, but did make quite a lot of the races. Impressive performance by him. Luca, last year's champion, sat 5th in qualifying currently. We'll be able to get a bit better. Declan Evans in 6th. Nathan Rutherford 7th. Newcomer James Allen in 8th. Connor, Ryan's teammate, down in 9th currently. I know he'll want to be better than that. Kyle 10th. Kieran McKeldin 11th. Andrew Lawrence 12th. Stephen coming down in 13th. Got Robert Newman, Mark Ruddick, Ali Johnston. Oh, Brandon Bruce down in 17th. He must be unable to set a clean lap time currently because we know he's got the pace to be challenging for the first position. And Shane Bellotti, Cam Kirkpatrick, another one you'd expect to be in this front. Ben Berenson, Duncan Prime, and that is the bottom currently. And that's all the way to the end. We're still looking at Ash. See how Ryan's doing down in 2nd. That new in the Audi, was in the Merc last season. It was impressive, but he wanted to make the switch. I have noticed, however, that it's not showing the information correctly. Unfortunately, with qualifying, it doesn't show the ticker correctly to show where everyone is in regards to qualifying against each other. I'm going to try and keep an eye on it. It's a problem with Forza. Some things aren't quite working the way they should be. Keep an eye on the top. It does look like Ashfield is sat in pole currently. As you can see, the lap times just popping up at the top there. Though it does look like there's been a decent lap set pretty much everywhere down the grid. It does look extremely close. You can see the 113s to 112s is what cars will be aiming for pole position. Look through. It does look like Ashfield MC Fireball is the one that's sat in pole currently. He expected. He's a decent driver around him. Always impressed around here with Ash. Not the line Ash would have wanted to take through there. So you have to bear with, because obviously currently it will show the cars in positions that it's showing them at. Let's see, it's not 100% correct. Balls are being broken a little bit. It does look like it's Ash, followed by Ryan, followed by Luca. Although a decent lap time has been set by J2 and BC2, who does look like taking 2nd place currently. Let's switch to him to see how he's running. It is. Sporting gold and black with the red livery. Really ECR development this season. So that looks like it is the end of qualifying. Let's see if I can get an idea of the lap times people have been setting. So Ash looks to have taken pole if I go down the grid. Looks extremely close, which is always good to see on a small track like this. Yeah, as we go back through, that does look to be okay. So Ash has taken pole, followed closely by Luca Townsend. Ryan and Nathan will make up the second row. We have Garside and Brandy taking up row 3. Row 4, Callum and Jake. And it's James and Connor, row 5. 6 is Destro and Spoons, followed by Shane and Kyle. Looking for it pretty close. Ali will be disappointed with that for qualifying. He knows he can do better than that one. I do think the last round, see if they can get their final lap through. That's still going. Got Andrew Lawrence, will be hoping for a better position than that. We know he's got the talent to be higher up than 50, as Andrew. He's always been quite a good runner in the series. Took a couple quite a few podiums last season. He crosses the line. Does he stay 15? He stays 15. And finally, Dunk down in 20th. See if he can improve on that one. Doesn't look like it's that good a lap looking by that exit, but we'll see if he manages to jump up at all. No, he does stay in 20th, so that looks to be the grid. We'll see it second, see how it comes out. It does look like first pole position of the season has gone to Ashley Field, MC5 on his birthday, so that's how you want to celebrate. Won't be long now and then we'll get race 1 started with our grid, so Hey Jizzy, thank you to the welcome to the chat. Okay, here we go. I'll go down through the grid during the warm-up lap. So we can have a look at everyone. So this is your grid. Pole position, you can see Firewall, Ashley Field. We got second, Luca Townsend, reigning champion. Third place, Ryan Powell. Fourth, Ethan Rutherford. Yes, cars. Down fifth, the Garside, second of the STR cars. We've got Luca's teammate, Brandon Bruce. See, really well last season. Was unlucky not to get higher up, as there has been a mistake on the warm-up lap for Phil Garside, that looks like. He'll rejoin the grid in a second. Keep going down, Conker Patrick, sat here. We've got Jake Bruin. Mercedes, be interested to see what we can do this season. A decent run, never very last season, but compete for the whole thing, so it'll be interesting to see. Coming down. Got James Allen, newcomer, partner in Kieran McKeldin, beautifully painted Red Bull Audi. Down to Marambros, Ryan's teammate. He knows he can be quicker higher up than this, but it'll be where he is. This is his first racing for rear wheel for the majority of his own career. We'll go back on the grid what we're doing in the beautiful GCR Rapids Honda. Of course. And Declan Evans in the Lasertool Chevrolet with MCE. Shane Bellotti, Velocity Racing. This is a decent qualifying for Shane. Don't know what's going on there. moving down the grid. Carl Cully, first season in the Chevrolet, known for being in the Chevrolet in previous years, but this is the first time he's been in it quite a while. He's been Honda previously. We keep moving down the grid. Andrew Lawrence, Mark Roddick, a decent qualifying for 16th. 17th, Jake's teammate. He'll be disappointed with that. He knows he can be higher up. Kieran McKellen again in the Red Bull Audi. Ben Berenson, really disappointed. I know he was extremely disappointed to be down here in 19th. 20th, as I've said before, Duncan Prime. And then right at the back, now sounds like they're getting ready to go, so let's switch to the front of the grid. Ashley Field, let's see how they do. We know that the BMW's Callum Kirkpatrick will get a decent start, so I'm going to switch to him. BMW is going to be lightning quick from the start. Get rid of the map just so we can see this start clearly. Sounds like they're getting ready to go. Alright, we can hear the revs lining up now. Getting ready, watch out for that car. Fourth and back on the right, that's going to get a great start, the BMW Catbird truck. Build up, build up. Not long now, surely. Great start from Field. Poor start from the Phil Garside, as we expected. A great start from BMW. Make the way down to turn 1. Gets a bit crowded. Ryan on the outside. Kirkpatrick looks like to dry a bit there. It looks like Callum's going to be challenging next to Brandon Roos coming in turn 2. Looks like otherwise it's all safe. Grid has bring the map back up. Looks to be an instant near the back of the grid. Look at what's going on there. Oh, just the cars are extremely bunched together. Looks like Andrew Lawrence. Oh, it's got close into the chicane. That's always a danger point there. Looks like they've all got through cleanly, so looks like we're okay. One car looks to have dropped back and Prime. We make our way back to the front of the grid. Luca Townsend has taken the lead. Got past Ashley Field early, and we know that if Ashley's out the front, he will get away, so it's Luca Townsend very close behind Ashley Field. Nathan Rutherford is in 3rd place. 4th place currently looks to be... Yes, Brandon Roos, he held off the challenge from Kirkpatrick early. And down lap 1, as we can look through behind, got Kirkpatrick, and it looks like Ryan is looking to challenge to make a move in there. Jake Owen right behind, tucked in. Move. He doesn't like to get slow behind, he looks to go at the inside of him now. Yes, there's a bit of door banging, but it looks all clean. He's got him. Wow, great move, but he's going to get swamped. As you see the Mercedes of Jake Owen looking like it's looking to make a move. Going up the inside of Kirkpatrick into the chicane, that's a decent move from Owen. That's what we want to see from Newcomers in the championship. We'll look back through the grid, see if there's any surprises. One looks to have made a decent start, looks to have happened from Kieran McKellen, who did start down in what I believe was in 18th place, and he now finds himself 5 places higher, as does Ali Johnston in the Chevrolet, who is 7 places up from where he began. Looking at the grid, it looks like the only person that really lost out majorly in that opening lap was James Allen. Ali runs a bit wide in his WWE style car. So currently the best lap is held by Luca Townsend. There is a bonus point for fastest, of course, and the top 20 do score here in the Drivers' Championship, so unfortunately one driver will be missing out. Currently is going to be Jonathan Prime, who does look like he's fallen off the pace a bit. I wonder if he's holding on to any damage. He does look like he's struggling a bit there, so we see him go wide. So let's move up back through the grid, see where there's any pockets of action going on. It looks like again it's really close between in the battle for 4th. Ryan looks to have gotten away from the side by side into the chicane. That's going to be close. That's as close as he was going. Looks like Ryan benefited from that as well, taking 4th place away from Nathan Rutherford. Battle for 1st is still Luca, followed closely by Ashley Field. And look to tuck in behind him and see if he can make a move. We know that Honda's great through the corners, so it's all going down to when he gets. If Luca makes a mistake, that's generally when you see Ashley Phil make the move. He's a very quick driver as Ash, 7, potentially 8-time champion here in OMA. Luca goes defensive to the inside, making the move. He's just going to keep something behind. Knows he's decent on the brakes, he's just going to wait for it. Looks like a gaggle of car bunching up behind. As the battle for third heats up, Ryan looks to be trying to challenge third place. Hope we don't miss the battle for first as we're doing this. Ryan slotted in behind. The speed that Audi has down the straight, it should be about the same as that Chevrolet, so it's all going to be down to braking point here and see if he's going to have the bravery to make a move into the chicane. Looks like he's trying to take the inside line, but there's nothing there yet. G. looks like he's gone a bit wide as he's made a mistake. Looks to have lost track of Patrick. It's the only thing with a short lap here at Watkins Glen. One mistake and you do tend to lose out a little bit. I say that as we see Ali Johnson's gone majorly wider. Looks to have lost a couple of places. Battle's all on the field over there already. The battle for first is still looking the same for him, with Ryan tucked in still behind him looking to make that move. Go back to him again. Zoom out and see. Doesn't look good for Duncan. Looks like he's going to be sat behind the first race. Mark Roddick done 20th, looks like he's fallen off the back a bit. Extremely bunched up. You kind of got the top two battling together. The battle for third down to 9th and 10th. Through to 17th, 18th, 19th in the round that battle, then got 20th to first in the round. Interesting to see how they line up at the end. Ryan is still chasing the back of Brad. He's all over the back of him looking to make that move. I know I want to see this battle for first. See if Lucan can keep off the challenge on Sheffield. As we're third of the way through the race here, looks like Luca's running a little bit wide, but Ash is just going to tuck in behind him. He's going to make a move on the outside. Is he going to outbrake him into this corner? It's a difficult overtake on the outside of this turn. Luca's made a mistake. He's taken the inside line too much, and Ash is taking the lead. Ashley Phil takes the lead for the first time here tonight. This is a start we'll be wanting to, and now as he's grazed the wall, give Luca the chance to come back at him. We know that Ash, once he gets a lead, he will generally take away, but we also know that Luca will take any opportunity for an overtake as he takes his inside line into the first turn. Now he backs out safely. Decent driving there tonight. It's great to see the guys back in action again after a 3-week, nearly month break between the end of last season. Let's move back down the grid, see where what's going on. Connor is hanging on to the back as battle for third. You will notice as we're going through these corners that generally there is a lot of use of the curve here at Watkins Glen, and that's something that we have allowed. We want the racing to be as close as we can here tonight. So we want them to use the curves, use them to your advantage, especially through that chicane. Right, use that curve, that's a dangerous one, but let's hope that Connor doesn't fall off the back of his pack. Move back up through. Random Ryan CK's got past Nathan. And the Simtech Pro Google car finance. BMW, he's on his own this season. Came in late as a reserve last season, had the string brilliant performances, including a couple of tens, but mainly he was 6 wins and 9 races. Shape, yeah, that is a struggle with that BMW. It looks like Ash is slowly getting a bit of a gap to Townsend behind him. So if Ash is unchallenged, he will just disappear. He's got that out. Luke will need to get back on his foot. The curves here, and Ash has gone wide. So that's going to give Luke the opportunity. He's going to look on the side. No, it looks like he's just going to hope to cut back on it. See if he can do to Ash what Ash did to him a couple laps ago. The only thing they're going to have to watch out for is the back after looks like Brandon and Ryan are getting away from this 5th place from CK, so we may see this pocket get away as Kieran McKelvin has got up to 11th place. He's making a decent run through the field. He's up to 10th now, getting past Declan Evans. It's always good to see his long-term servant of OMA is McKelvin. Declan Evans all over the back of him looking to make that gap. He looks like giving him a bit of a bump. Going to park it on the apex. Chevrolet's got decent exit speed if it's a quick corner. Just trying to show his nose on the inside. Will that gap open up for him? He's going to close the door there. It's good racing there. It's a decent finish. Get up to where he is considering where he started. Then Evans make that dive to the inside. He got a decent run out turn 1. They're going to hold on behind them. Carl Cully's looking to slot behind McKelvin. My try and take a line on him as well. TCR's got a decent run out of the turn. It looks like he's pulling Carl Cully along with him. Declan Evans might have made a slight mistake on the exit. We've looked to have a car in the pits. Check that. Mark Ruddock looks to have had an issue and he's going through the pits at the moment. Let's hopefully try and repair some damage and see if we can see what the damage is to him. Not going to show us, perfect. So that's going to take him out of the points watching now as Duncan Prime goes past. We've got Ashley Field and Luca Townsend now getting onto the back of Duncan Prime here, who is obviously going to be a back marker as Luca runs a bit wide. Ryan has taken third place off of Brandon Roos. Let's see if he can hold more hearts. It'll be interesting to see whether in these last 9 laps he's going to be able to make the push to bring Brandon along with him to gain up to the top 2. Let's have a 500 foot gap at the moment and 500 back to CK, another 600 back again. Bring them back again, as it does look like Nathan Rutherford has dropped off. No, apologies, Callum Kirkpatrick has gone away from that group pack. Now he's on the chase to try and gain these 3 and hopefully try and challenge for that podium, as Nathan Rutherford has slotted down in 8th now. Kieran McKelvin is getting away from this battle, so now looking at a battle for 11th between Declan Evans and Carl Cully. Let's even have a look at that one and see what's going on now. That's one, wait for it to load. There we go. Robert Newman has also got past. So, possible error from Declan Evans to try and get through there again quickly. He now challenges Andrew Lawrence, who looks to have got past him as well. So, bad few corners for Declan Evans there, but we know he can get through. He's got the pace in that Chevrolet. It's his first season back in it after a long run in a Honda again. Same as Parkerley. He's running as an independent this season. Previously, he has been known to be partner up with Watkins Field. He gives decent space there for Lawrence on the inside. Holes inside line, outside on the exit of these S's, and then inside the line again as they go onto the straights. He's going to have to slot in behind him. Got to watch for the challenge of Johnston behind him. It's an interesting look to have a car that's pulled off. It's Mark Ruddock in 20th. That looks to be his day done. Parked up at the exit. He don't know. It looks like he's just come out of the pits and just parked up. He realises his day is done. He's far behind. We look to have lost a driver. Let's see if we can figure out who we've lost. As Ryan is really separated from Brandon Roos now, I've just realised. So the Ryan now is free to try and make that chase for the top 2, which will be interesting to watch in the coming laps. Brandon looks like he's going to be getting into the clutch as he comes down the grid. Hard to see where the loss is. Wonder whether it had anything to do with the back marker done by Prime. You're in the middle of the pack now. The chasing pack for looks no, that's the Gar side in 6th place. Looks to be getting on the back. I apologise. Let's watch Ryan to see if he can get that gap brought down. He's really fighting to chase back top 2. Car's gone wide. That's then getting past Duncan Prime. He's moved out of the way. That's decent on him. So we're worried with the back marker that they're going to get in the way. So Ash looks to be getting away in first as we go on to lap 13. Second is Luca Townsend, third Ryan Powell, Brandon Roos fourth, getting followed closely by Callum Kirkpatrick. Hopefully see if that'll come up with those two. Got a battle for sixth between Garside and Jake Evans. Jake potentially looking to make a move on his inside. Line it up, but he's not getting it yet. And Nathan Rutherford 8th, 9th, Connor Ambrose 10th, Kieran McKeldon, he's done decent to get to that place so far. We're really happy with that. Carl Cully 11th, 12th, Andrew Lawrence 13th, Declan Evans 14th, Andy Johnson. James Allen 15th from his first OMA race, 16th, Shane Bellotti, 17th, Robert Newman. There's a real battle going on there. 18th, got Ben Brent, who's just on his own here. 19th, Duncan Prime, who's found himself in the middle of the pack. 20th, of course, is Mark Roddick hard up on the side. The battle for 6th, looks like Phil has hold on to it. Getting a little bit of a gap now to Jake, which is what we've been needing, because we've seen in previous season Jake is wanting to make the gap, take the position if he can. Sorry, quick water break there. So CK's now really getting onto the back of Brandon Roos here. It's going to be a battle that's going to culminate here soon. It'll be into the dying laps. We know CK will take that position if he can. It's the first race of the season. They'll be looking to get as many points as they can. See him going through the turn. Getting a slide on the way into there. It's beautifully done. Jake still battling. Connor is really on Nathan Rutherford here as they go around that looping left-hander. He's taking outside the lines, trying to get a really good exit. We'll be happy with 9th in his first race in that LD's. So he's been really in W season. Extremely happy being placed. I really want to be higher, but that is a decent performance in his first race. CK is really on the back of Brad now as Ryan is really gaining onto Luca Townsend. I don't know if he's close enough to make a challenge yet, but could come on in the next few laps. You see CK really on the back of Brandon still. Jake is still trying to get back there. Looks like it's all coming down the grid. Let's see if there's any battles to keep an eye on. Declan Evans, we know that 13th, he'll look to try and get past down the line as possible. These leaders are going through the chicane and they're going around the loop and right-hander. Still Ashley Field. Otherwise there doesn't look to be any moves for overtakes. Ryan's going to try and get a run out of that corner, I expect. Just keep an eye on the front three. Look from Ron Ball and Ryan as he's staring at the back of that Octane Chevrolet, apologies, of Luca Townsend. Looks like CK might be making a move here. He's really on the back of Brandon Roos, and he will dive down that inside if he gets that opportunity. He knows that the BMW's decent in the race. His tyre life is much better than the rest of the cars. So, expect him to be behind that. This is decent. We're going through the grid again. Luca Townsend, Ryan Powell really gaining on him. And we've got this battle for 4 between Brandon Roos and Callum Kirkpatrick, who looks to be trying to make a move on him here. He's sliding behind. Defensive driving brilliantly from Brandon. He's a very hard driver to overtake. Always trying to make that Chevrolet or whatever car he's in as big as possible. Make it impossible for the car behind to make that move. So keep going back down the grid. Jake Owen has now taken 6th place from Phil Garside. He's been behind him. Garside will try and take that as quick as possible, of course. Nathan Rutherford. Keep moving through. Kieran McLeod is still 10th. Carl Cully 12th, Andrew Lawrence 13th still. 11th. 14th, James Allen on his first OMA race. Gotta be happy with that. 15th, Andy Johnson from a decent disappointing, qualifying. We'll be happy as Jake really defends the inside there. Let's keep this battle going. Will Lewis be taking that outside line when he get a switch back as he run into turn 1? Looks like he's going to hold that outside line. Force Jake to the inside, and he's going to try and pull alongside of him with the S's. We want to see here, but he's just going to hold on to his Jake. Keep an eye on these two as they go through the period as we're nearing the penultimate, as we're on the penultimate lap here today. So there's going to be a couple of races before this, and the front 3 will all carry 5% ballast going into race 2. So it's going to be something to watch out for. As well as a reverse grid where, of course, between 6th and 12th, we get random corner in that position, we'll get pole position. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. So these two could potentially be battling for pole position if everything works out. The car is still battling on the it goes back to this front 3. It's actually filled as driving on his birthday. Extremely calm races. Doesn't look to have made a single thing apart from a single wall up early. Ryan's really pushing that Audi to try and get onto the back of the Glen. Early leading range it's still. Hang around now whilst we waiting for the race to finish. The cars make their cooldown laps and they're also done quite a lot to finish. We're watching the race winner Ashley Phil go around as he's just waiting for the race to go now. So there we go. Race 1 over. So I've reported that 12th place has been given pole positions. That would be a pole position start for Andrew Lawrence. So it does appear that obviously because we had Stephen Cumming leave or disconnected and he was the lobby host, we will be re-hosting, so do bear with us as we get to it. We'll now be right back as we prepare for race 2, and we will run through the grid again like we did last time. So thank you very much. Okay, here we go. Round 2 of the Team OMA World Touring Car Championship is getting going. We've got Kyle Cully starting from pole as he warms those tyres up beautifully. Looking down the grid, got Kieran McKeldin, who's going to be starting from second place after his barnstormer of a race. He came from 18th up to 10th. Good young driver of the race for that one as well. Keep going back, we have Connor Ambrose, who obviously came down in 9th in the end. We'll be happy with that for a first start. Let's see what we can do from 3rd place on the grid now. Go back one more. We've got Nathan Rutherford, 4th place in the STR. Did well to finish where he did, but he will be disappointed he can do better. Seems he had quite a decent start. Let's hope we can bring something going this race. Keep going down the grid. Jake Owen did well to get 5th, to get the result he did. He would have been gutted to have lost out to Phil Garcia in the end. But of course he's going to be lining up alongside in 6th place. Keep going down the grid. Callum Kirkpatrick 7th. 8th is going to be Brandon Roos, but he is going to be just ahead of the 3 that got the podium, which is Ryan Powell, who is going to be carrying the ballast. 5% power handicap will give it to people as they finish on the podium. Just to kind of bring them all closer. So he'll be hoping for damage limitation here, try and get as good a result he can, and then just push on next race. But if he managed to get a full podium place, quite a welcome. Still going down, got Luca Townsend, Ashley Field, our race 1 winner. Then we've got the people that unfortunately missed out on the reverse grid: Andrew Lawrence, Declan Evans, James Allen, Ali Johnston, Shane Bellotti, Robert Newman, Ben Brenson, Duncan Prime, Mark Roddick, and then lining up the back is going to be Stephen Cumming, who is obviously going to be on the grid of his own. He did finish, he did unfortunately get a disconnect, and we're hoping for better this time around. So make our way to the front of the grid. Let's see how Kyle Cully will get away. Again, I'm going to get rid of the map for the start, so we can see them more. Let's see how good a start they get. In fact, I'm going to go start further back in the grid. So again, watch the car in 7th place. As we can see all the cars lining up, it's a beautiful sight. Revs are climbing. All the cars are in position. See who can get the best start. I do expect a good one from Callum Kirkpatrick and that BMW. Again, fall for it back. Looked like a bit of a jump from Brandon Rose, but he looks to have got away with it. It's a decent start. Kirkpatrick dives down the inside. He's going to be on the inside of Ryan Powell going into turn 1. Kyle Cully has got away well. He's going to be in 1st place. Someone has shot off wide there. It looked like a car, like a yellow car. I couldn't quite tell who it was. It might have been Ryan Powell. Couldn't quite see who it was. It might have been Rambo actually, going down to 5th. Kyle Cully, followed closely by Nathan Rutherford, who's going to look to try and make a move into turn 1. I expect the chicane, apologies, I expect. Kieran McKeldin in 3rd place. He looks to have got a decent getaway, but he has got the BMW and Callum Kirkpatrick right behind him. Behind them, you've got Brandon Roos and Jake Owen getting close into the chicane. They both got through safely. There's a car going really wide there. That's Phil Garside. Got to be careful when he rejoins. Looks to have slotted in behind the Audis of Ambrose. Powell. Go back towards Kyle Cully is still holding off. Move of Nathan Rutherford. Get the map back up again. It doesn't look like anyone's dropping off yet. There looks to be a little bit of a gap forming in the middle there. Between. It's hard to see where that gap is forming, but it'll be all clear up as we go through the races. But as we finish the first lap, we've got Kyle Cully, Nathan Rutherford, Callum Kirkpatrick, who has now got past Kieran McKeldin, so he's going to be one to watch out for. Brandon Roos, Jake Owen, Luca Townsend up into 7th, Connor Ambrose in 8th, Ryan Powell 9th, 10th is Phil Garside, before I didn't know the top 10. Back up to the front with Kyle Cully with his battle with Nathan Rutherford and the speed of that BMW from Callum Kirkpatrick, who's got a decent start. We know he's quick. Looks to have got himself a decent run into the chicane as Kirkpatrick, but he's gone a little bit wide. He's right on the back of Nathan Rutherford as Rutherford looks to make a move on the inside. Carl Cully, and around the outside comes Callum Kirkpatrick. He looked to make that move, but it's not going to stick. And Brandon Roos is turning onto the back of him as this part looks to be getting away. As we look and see there's been an issue at the back of the grid. Who is that falling off? That is Johnston. Let's see if he's got damage at all. That is not looking good for him. Looks to almost be his race done. He's holding on to a lot of damage there. I know in the earlier race in the Porsche Cup he did have an issue with the wall going through that chicane, but it's disappointing to see that happen in his first race back after a year out. Whereas we go back to the front, Callum Kirkpatrick has now taken the lead, and apologies for missing that. He's got a decent gap already. Something must have happened behind him. Carl Cully has really dropped back as he's got down to 5th now. It must have been a mistake. I apologise that I've missed that. Nice. As we see the bunch coming through that. Back to the front. Carl Kirkpatrick focused on Brandon Roos, who has also got past Nathan Rutherford now. He looks to be still under siege from Jake Owen. Let's see if these guys are going to get around the corners before Ali Johnson's got to that pit, so it might just be okay. He's going to get out of here. Kieran McKellen up in 6th. He's the greatest start to get to where he is now. He's going to be here as he gets swamped on either side by cars. It looks to be extremely close here coming into the braking zone. Final 2 corners. It's 4 wide as that is. Struggling to see who it is that's gone wide. It looked like it might have been Luca Townsend. Yeah, he went for the inside line. Did not work out for him. He's slid back in now just ahead of Shane Blight. He's going to get around the outside. I believe that's Shane. Yep, Shane Blight is there. Luke has dropped all the way down to 20th. He's not going to be happy with that performance. It's hard to see exactly who was to blame there, but it did look like there was just 4 into 1 that was never going to work, and no one backed out. It's what happens here at the moment, but Callum Kirkpatrick is getting himself a decent lead here. Brandon Roos in that Chevrolet is going to be battling Jake Owen and Nathan Rutherford still battling on the way to the chicane. The straight line speed that Mercedes really showing, but it's not quite made it stick yet. Bit of contact. Both of them to the grass. Oh, they look to have got through okay, but it's Carl Cully who's going to be benefiting from this if he can get onto the back of them. Behind them you have got the Audi of Conor Ambrose, who's making his way back, making his way up. I believe it was him that did run wide earlier. Just go further down. Weird. Hard to see what's going on. But Luca has now passed Shane Blight, so he'll try and go back. We'll get back to the front now. Again, we're looking at Callum Kirkpatrick in first, followed closely by Brandon Roos, who's going to try and keep hold of him this entire time, wait for the mistake. Third place is still. It's now Jake Owen. He's got past Nathan. He's kept that position from Jake Rutherford. Apologies from Nathan Rutherford. He's got Carl Cully in contention for that 5th place. We've got a tasty battle here for 6th between Ambrose far side and a bit of contact going up the inside. Looks to be Andrew Bronson and Ryan Powell in that alley at the back, who's called carrying the success ballot. He's the back over than. Yeah, because Ashley Field has dropped back a bit, so we'll be looking at Ryan Powell is a higher foot than with the ballot, so interesting how he does. So Jake Owen, Carl Cully, Nathan Rutherford. That battle for 3rd does look like he's bringing in this battle for 6th as well, so it's going to be one long battle in a minute, which will be interesting to watch, as the fastest of the race at the moment is held by Phil Garza. So Declan Evans at the moment sat in 10th, he's looking just on his own, just hoping to try and get that back ahead of him, which should happen if they start battling. They will be slowing each other down, but we're still looking at Kirkpatrick out front in that BMW. Cruising his way to potentially a victory here. He's similar to, like I spoke of, Luca and Ash in field in this race, where the second they get away they tend to just set some quick laps and just disappear from the race. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that move going. Looks like Luca Townsend is at the back. getting towards the back. A big battle here. Let's go back to that one. Let's see what's going on. A battle for 14th. Luka Townsend, I told you, he's quick. I knew he would get into the back of the pack eventually. He's going to try and pierce his way through and just get back to positions that was lost from that earlier. So he dives through the middle of that. What a move! Dive through the middle of that. Looks like 3 cars. James Allen, Ben Brinson, and I believe that was Robert Newman in the Honda, who's gone really wide. That's an incredible move to make so many positions. And Duncan Prime as well. My apologies. It looks like Kieran McCollum he was involved in that contact with Luka Townsend. Luca's now dispatched of him as well. As you can see, now trying to get past Mark Roddick. He's just piercing his way through the pack. A bit of a mistake there from a car behind. Garside has had to pit, so that's unfortunate. He must have had an issue earlier. So Luca's now finding himself up in 13th. Going to the grid. Still got Callum Kirkpatrick, Brandon Roos. Jake Owen has now separated himself from the pack. He will be chasing down the front too. Nathan Rutherford, Kyle Cully, Connor Ambrose, Andrew Lawrence, Ryan Powell. Declan Evans is now in 9th, so he's gained the pack. That's decent from Ashley Poole in 10th. James Allen in 11th and 12th for Stephen Young. He's really done well to get back through from 21st on the grid. Let's have a check and see how he gets on. Looks to just be at the back of the pack, but perfect position for if a mistake does happen in front of him. So it's good to see. The driver is always used to be decent near towards the front of the grid, at the very least head of the mid pack. So it's great to see him back in there as this bonus went for him last race. The couple cars do look to be exiting the pits. That is the... Oh, it's Kieran McKellen in the number 20. I didn't even notice he had to go in as well as Phil Garside. That's something that went on. He must have been carrying some damage. So you won't be happy with that one, but it's... Commentators guys, I did think he was doing well. Sammy Johnson is down in 21st, a lap behind this point of time to see how he's doing. The battle for 4th is heating up here. Let's keep an eye on Nathan Rutherford. The front 3 do look to be aware. We'll keep an eye out to see if Jake Owen does get onto the back of those 2. It does look like those positions have been settled now. We are looking at Nathan Rutherford very closely. Carl Cully is a move that looks like Connor Ambrose is looking to make his way back into 5th. It will be a decent performance from against that. Ryan Powell is looking like he's on the back of the line to drop off. These 3. Carl Cully is taken to the inside, defend away from Connor Ambrose. Decent fixes with Ambrose. Looking to perform really well for his first time back into the front-wheel drive machinery. Let's go through the S's, slot him in behind Cully. He's going to try and get a run as he comes towards the chicane. We look behind him. It does look like Powell has managed to get past Lawrence. No, apologies, he has lost that back, so we know for a fact that Powell will be trying to get up as many places as he can. You can see that his main competitors in terms of race 1 all falling behind. Luka Townsend and Ashley Bill not in positions to really be challenging him at all. So his only concern really now is seeing what's going on with the front 3, Kirkpatrick and Roos, both of which did have a decent race 1 and now are having a decent race 2 as well, so they'll be probably leading the championship going into race 3. See how he's doing. It's a really good performance at the moment from Jake Owen to be sat in 3rd place. First season in that Mercedes, working alongside Stephen Young. Great to see that he's yet another person joining the series who can challenge the top drivers. And now Connor Ambrose has got past Carl Cully. I apologise, has switched away from first to second just to see it's happen, but Carl is going to try and come back to him through the S's. He's on the exit, he's right on the back, on the bumper of that mixed energy Audi. And yeah, Xfinity Motorsport Chevrolet. thought there was a mistake there from Carl. He looked like he had dropped off. He is back on him again. Just saw a slide as they were going through the chicane. I fully expected to be seeing him bouncing off of a wall. Let's go back through and check how everyone is getting on. Got James Allen is holding off 8-time champion Ashley Field in that T-side Audi with Red Bull. Stephen Cumming is now up into 11th. He's having a great race, is Stephen Cumming. He's made 10 places just here alone. The best lap of the race at the moment is gone to BTC 42. That is Jake Ewan. So it shows the pace that he's putting on around here, but he just can't seem to get a run on those ahead. As Ashley Field looks to have made the move. Stick on James Allen. Decent move around the outside. As they both run wide, that's going to give Stephen Cumming a chance to move on to the top, onto the back of the field. They're going to stay with this battle. Stephen is looking to be holding off the battle of Declan Evans in that Laser Tool Chevrolet. Looking at the map, it does look like Brandon Roos is getting right onto the back of Callum Kirkpatrick, so that'll be interesting to see how that's going to go. It could have possibly a late challenge for the lead here. These are teammates are part of the same stable, but they are obviously going to be battling against each other. It's too early for team orders now. There's a brush of the wall for both Kirkpatrick and Jake Ewan, so you can bet that Brandon Roos will be looking to make a move on Kirkpatrick as possible. Gone to the outside, he's going to try and get a good inside and switch in. That drive that BMW out of the corners is only matched by the Chevrolet, so it's going to be a battle right up to the wire. Doesn't look like he's going to be close enough to make that move into the chicane, which does look to be the primary overtaking point currently as the braking zone of that chicane as they come down this long straight. Kirkpatrick is defending it well, but you just know that if he makes any mistake, Brandon Roos is going to pounce as quick as he can. But all this is going to do is bring Jake Ewan back into the fight, so he's not going to argue at all. All they're going to have to watch out for soon is the back mark of Ali Johnson. Let's hope they don't catch them in an awkward place, which could slow them both down. Still sticking with his front two. Brandon Roos is not... He's got past him! My apologies, I can't believe I've missed that. Must have looked away for just a second, and I've looked back and Brandon Roos has taken the position from Callum Kirkpatrick, so we have a change of leader. Now Brandon Roos, followed by Callum Kirkpatrick, followed by Jake Ewan. Then go further down, we've got Nathan Rutherford, Connor Ambrose, Carl Cully, Andrew Lawrence, still got the Audi of Ryan Powell sat behind him. Ashley Field 9th, 10th of James Allen, 11th is Stephen Cumming, 12th is Declan Evans, 13th now is Luca Townsend, who has made his way back through after that earlier issue. We've got Shane Mallotti 14th, 15th, disappointment in race 1 and Paul, 16th Ben Lorenzen. He was not happy both from between races and not happy with his performance in race 1. 17th Robert Newman, 18th Jordan Pryor, 19th up there is Kieran McKeldin, who will not be a happy bunny after what's happened. 20th we have got Ali Johnson. It does look like we've lost another driver. It's hard to tell who we've lost currently. We'll see it come the end. It's Kirkpatrick got back past Brandon Roos. So these two are going to battle all the way, and all this is doing is bringing Jake Ewan back into this fight. We're going to be watching these two battle and hoping for a mistake. We are not getting away from this battle for the lead. This is going to be going right to the end. It can be reported, unfortunately, that the car that has been disconnected / will not be finishing this race is Phil Garside in the STR TCR. As Brandon on the outside of Kirkpatrick is going to try and switch back again. Jacob is really forcing himself to get back onto these two. He can see they're battling, he just wants to get involved. The gap is closing. Is really looking to get onto this. But Kieran McKelvey are going to be getting in front of them soon, so let's see where they'll meet onto him. I want to check the rest of the grid, but we've got to steal this penalty for the lead. He really is getting on the back of these two, and it'd be interesting to see what he does at the straight. Brandon Roos hasn't quite got the pace to be right on the back of Kirkpatrick at the end of here, but we'll see what happens as we get to the end. So I don't think I'll be catching up with Kieran McKelvey quite yet. Possibly be something to look at for the next lap, maybe even final lap. Let's hope they don't meet him on the chicane. That would be the worst place they could possibly meet him. We look down the grid. You can see big climbs for Stephen Cumming up there in 10th. Gained 11 places. Oh, this has been quite an exciting race up at the front. It's a shame to see Luca Townsend get dropped off. You know, he's always one that can get up through the grid despite having that ballast. Stick with these two. We've got Callum Kirkpatrick first. Closely followed by Brandon Roos. He's going to be battling right to the end as well on the penultimate lap. Jacob has now dropped off a bit, made a bit of a mistake, so he's probably going to be solid now in third. We won't see him try and gain anything through. We've got Nathan Rutherford still fourth, fifth. Conor Ambrose really looking to fight back on him. Sixth, Carl Kelly looks to be safe there. Seventh is Andrew Lawrence, and we've got the battle for eighth between Ashby Field and Ryan Powell. We're going to have a quick look to see how these two are getting on, because they're looking right on each other. And Powell has got back past him again. And Stephen Collins now gained up into 10th ahead of James Allen, and 12th. And we've got Declan Evans, 13th. Luke Townsend is trying to get onto that one, but he's not going to get there in time. And we've got Powell going back down the road to the end. And we now see that Kirkpatrick and Roos are getting on to the back of Kieran McKeldon in the TCR. Let's see if he's going to get out of the way quick. Yeah, he's pulled away. So they've met him just at a bit of an awkward point in that corner, but it could have been a lot worse. So credit to McKeldon for getting out of the way with there. So here we are, final lap. Kirkpatrick closely followed by Brandon Roos. A single mistake here, and Roos will take that position. Jake Owen has dropped off. He'll be sat there and be very happy with fourth place. Battle for fourth between Conor Ambrose and Nathan Rutherford is really heating up here on this final lap. Ambrose is stuck to the back of Rutherford like glue, open for that opportunity to make the move. He's hugging that inside line as much as he can. He knows he can't. Rutherford defends that perfectly. Decent line through the chicane, but got to go back to the front. Got to see what's going on with these three. So it's still Kirkpatrick with the round in the final corner soon. Kirkpatrick, Roos right behind him, and JQ in the third, who looks to have got that silver ground. It's the final corner now. Roos see if he can get the drive out. He looks to it now. It looks like he's not going to quite get it as they run towards the line. Decent win for Kirkpatrick. Brandon Roos pushed him all the way to the end. Jake Owen with a decent podium in third place. Fourth has gone to Nathan Rutherford, who's held off the challenge from Conor Ambrose, who's got sixth to Carl Cully. Seventh, Andrew Lawrence. Eighth has gone to Ryan Powell. Ninth, Ashley Field. Battled right to the end. 10th, Stephen Cohen. Great race from him from 21st on the grid. 11th for James Allen. 12th for Declan Evans. 13th, Luca Townsend. Will be disappointed with that one. 14th, Shane Bellotti. 15th looks to be Ben Berenson over the line. That looks to be at 16th, Robert Newman. 17th has gone to Mark Redding after a disappointment in race 1. 18th will be coming around the corner soon. That's Duncan Prime. 19th for Kieran McKeldon, who's unfortunately finding himself amongst the Finnish cars now as he's trying to get back through the grid. So it's unfortunate for him, but he's going to come around with the points. Ali Johnson will come around in place, but it's a decent race again for him. two GSP cars of the GSP stable. So we've looked to see who got the fastest lap. The very fastest lap did go to Jakku, and so not only did he get that third place, but the fastest lap as well. Of course, that is the end of race 2. Race 3 will be coming up soon, so bear with us as we get ready for the final race of the night. Here we go, get ready for race 3. So we can see Robert Newman has got lucky and he'll be starting from pole position. Second place will be Ben Brenson on that first row. Those two will be hoping to get a decent run, but the one we've got to watch out for is Luca Townsend down in 4th. Race 1's second place, he will be rapid at that start and he'll look to get past the concrete and just get away as early as possible. Don't count out those around him, but after this point of race 2 we'll be looking at as much of the field possible, much of the gap as possible for race 3. So let's go down the grid. Robert Newman pole, we said Ben Brenson, Shane Bellotti, Luca Townsend, Declan Evans, James Allenstein at 6th, 7th Stephen coming out for his impressive race 2, 8th Ashley Field, race 1 as well. Ryan Powell 9th, now good out the balance as well. Ryan Powell 9th, now good out the balance as well. Race 2, race 1 is obviously 3rd place finish. Lawrence 10th, 11th, 12th, 12th, 13th, previous podium of Owen, Roos and Kirkpatrick. 16th and 17th, we've got Mark Ruddock. 18th, Tony Gelden. After impressive race 1, he got caught in a couple of incidents in race 2, who will help to make amends. And he Johnson 20th as Hilgar side, and unfortunately we have not got 21st place for the end of the race. Just the way that goes sometimes. But as the races go on, we do end up losing a couple. It's hard to tell who exactly it is we've lost. Probably want to say it's Duncan Prime. Look, yeah, so Duncan Prime will not be ready in race 3, which is a shame, but it's just the way that it goes sometimes. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the grid does do for this final race. So as it stands, going into race 3, Callum Kirkpatrick is sat in 1st place in the championship on 52 points. 2nd is Brandon Roos on 50, with 3rd Ashley Field with 45. So keep going down, we've got Jake Hill with 42 and Ryan Powell with 40 down in 5th. So it'll be good to see how it goes. We'll be obviously running through the standings after the race. So Destro's lining up on the grid now, and it's obviously Robert Newman. And we'll switch back slightly. We're going to try and see what the start is going to be like for Luca Townsend, sat there in 4th on the left-hand side, as you can see, sat behind that Mercedes of Ben Brenson. Of course, let's get rid of the map for the start again. We'll be taking quite a narrow start this time, not quite using all the way up to the right-hand side. But it'll be interesting to see the kind of starts that get flicked back down the grid. Watch out for the fast-starting Chevrolets sat there in 4th and 5th. We'll be getting off the line quite nicely. Normally we'll be looking at the BMW, but that is sat quite far back for this final round, so shouldn't really be too much more worried to see where that one ends up. Revs are climbing. Getting ready here for race 3. Watch for the starting Chevrolets on 4th and 5th back there. We go racing soon here at Watkins Glen for race 3. There's been movement down the back of the grid, so might not be going quite yet. Apologies for that. As the cars realise that they're not quite in the positions they're supposed to be, as we do have rulings here. So apologies for the late start. You can see front 3. The tyres will be getting cold at this point, as they've been sat on the grid for quite a while. Right, the revs are climbing again. You can hear them getting ready to go. Let's see as we're going down the grid. So the angles are taking lots of Good getaway from that Mercedes, and as I said, the Chevrolet would, but that's a poor start from Robert Newman. With Luca Townsend looks to be charging for the lead straight off the bat. He's taken the inside of Ben Branson, he's forced a little bit of contact there, and that looks to be Declan Evans, who has been the main proprietor from that, who has dived up into second place. What a start for the two Chevrolets. I did tell you to watch out for those two, but didn't expect it to be quite that good. To seeing this and seeing how if everyone's got through cleanly as well, really bunched up through the S's. Hopefully there won't be an incident. But Luca Townsend done exactly as he hoped, got away early, and now it's going to be a case of seeing who can chase up behind him. But it's Luca Townsend first, Declan Evans, followed by Ben Berenson, then Shane Bellotti, then Ashley Field. Robert Newman's dropped a 6th at the start. He'll be very disappointed with that. James Allen 7th, 8th is Andrew Lawrence, 9th is Ryan Powell, and 10th at the moment is Stephen Hickman. So all the way up to seeing how Luca Townsend does now as he looks to set these laps and just try out as big of a gap as he can as early as possible. Evans will look to follow him through. We know that Evans has pace in that Chevrolet, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can keep hold of him. Look down the grid, there looks to be Ashley Field making his way through the pack as well. Something's gone on here. They look to have slowed down massively. A safety car looks to have been called. As we've got 3. Brandon Roos has dropped off the back. I can't believe I didn't notice that. It looked to be through the chicane that something had happened. With 2 other cars also in the pits. So it looks like they have ground the race to a slowdown, and hopefully to bunch them all up as they try and get rid of those cars that have ended up having their incidents. Brandon will be extremely unhappy to be forced to pit so early on in the race, you know, getting that damage which looks to be over the exit of the chicane up the top of the circuit. That is the main flashpoint of this track. As Townsend has, of course, packed them up very close. It'll be interesting to see whether the 3 will be able to make it to the back of the pack in time. Looks like everyone's got to the back of the pack now, apart from Brandon Russo. It's interesting to see whether this will be the lap that will win again. Interested to see whether they're going to be going racing straight away or if they're going to do one more lap under the safety procedure. Looks like they're going straight off, and what a getaway for Townsend. Evans did not expect that one. Looks to be a move made early. It actually looks to be alongside that of Shane Bellotti, so he's got the jump on him. He got past him before turn 1 already. That's a decent move by him. Back down the grid, they're all bunched up together. Brandon will be extremely unhappy to be down in 20th after the error. I can only assume it was a mistake by someone going to that chicane. He got caught up, or he was the one who made the mistake. I won't be able to tell you without seeing it. He looked down the grid, they're all packed up, but it doesn't look much overtaking going on currently. But we'll go back through, so we've got Luca Townsend sat in first, getting away as he would have hoped to. He is getting a lead as early as possible, and he's going to disappear from this pack if they don't get back on him. Second is Declan Evans, who's sat there, and he's got his teammate Ashley Field, or the same Ashley Field behind him. Whether he's going to let him through because he knows because Ashley is an extremely quick driver, and they are on the team, but Declan is going to be wanting to hold off as much as he can and get in better position, because he was disappointed with his performance last season. He made the switch to the Chevrolet knowing it was not but he will not be given up without a fight. Fourth, Shane Bellotti. That's decent drive for him so far to be this high up. Going back down, we've got Ben Berenson in fifth. Didn't get luckiest to get away with the contact with Luca Townsend as they all dived into turn 1, but he's going to have to keep hold of this position. He's disappointed with race 1 and 2. Behind them we've got James Allen and Ryan Powell looking to make a move on the inside. There's a decent move by Ryan as he tucks in behind Ben, and he's got that position, he's made that stick, so he'll be one to watch out for piling up through the grid. Keep going back. Lawrence. We've got 9th now for Robin Newman, so the start that he got really has let him down. He has got pace, he's shown pockets of pace in previous seasons, and it's disappointing to see him having that much of a drop early on, but we know that he'll be able to get it back. It was first in time in the previous new switch to this new car. So keep going back down. 11th, Stephen 12, Kellen. Watch out for his pace at race 1. At race 2 winner, my apologies. We've had a mistake. Looks like Brandon is caught up again. It's Brandon and Ali Johnson who are... They look to be out completely. That looks to be the wall again, so they're going to see if they can get those cars out of the way. It looks like Ali Johnson is trying to get Brandon Roos out of the way, so that is potentially the race over for Brandon Roos now. As you can see the pair trying to get the cars out of the way, but it looks like... Let's see the pace they're going at, trying to tell whether Lufthansa has slowed down. He has. They've called the safety car again to get this car out of the way, so Brandon is not having the race he wanted. Ali Johnson's having to get him out of the way, but they were in a dangerous position where they were, so that call had to be made. It's extremely disappointing to see that for the pair. So one thing that's always been mentioned here at Watkins Glen is that inside wall on the fast chicane is just the slightest mistake and you will find yourself in that one. So again, the pack is all bunched up. If you run through it, Luca Townsend actually figured Declan Evans, he must have got past him just before the safety car call, so good timing on his behalf. Then we've got Shane Bellotti still 4th, 5th Ben Borenson 6th, Brian Powell. He's going to be challenging as quick as he can to get up through the grid. He wants that high position. James Allen 7th, 8th, Andrew Lawrence 9th, Robert Newman 10th, Nathan Rutherford 11th, Stephen Connery 12th, Callum Patrick 13th is Kieran McKeldon, 14th is Phil Garza, 15th is Jake Owen. Race 2's 3rd place finish. 16th Carl Colley, 17th Conor Ambrose, 18th is Mark Ruddick. Now it's interesting to see whether, I know Conor looked like he got caught up in the lap 3 incident, but it's interesting to see what's going on there. But the only thing now is with these cars all bunched up, it's interesting to see whether something else happens into that chicane, or try and keep an eye out for it. But it's hard to check with them. Check all the way down that grid so quickly. It looks like they are going to do one more lap on the safety car to avoid these cars that will be coming out of the pit lane. If they can get out in time, these two, it looks like they will, Roos and Johnston will be able to get right back to the back of these guys. This is not the start we were expecting for race 3. Race 3 always chucks up some issues, but we didn't expect there to be 2 safety car calls so early on. So I expect the safety car will be ending at the end of this lap, which we hopefully back to more racing as we've got 11 laps to go once they cross the line. The mid-pack is where the damages normally do happen. These guys at the front generally trying to get through, but the mid-pack bunches up so closely with how close they are all together. As we saw in qualifying, very closely matched laps together. So the slightest mistake on one end can take out 1, 2, 3. There's been instances before we've had 6 drivers taken out in single corner due to one person's mistake. It's just the way that it happens with such close racing. course, those in chat, if you do want to spectate anyone in particular, do let me know and I will switch over to them for you. No issues with that whatsoever. And then looks like they're trying to get a decent getaway again. Backing him up, backing him up. Went early last time. He's gone again. Through final turn. Field is kind of stuck with him, but the pile behind them doesn't look like there's any moves on the back of the grid. It's Luca Townsend getting away smart. He knows he can't actually pull behind him with the pace, and he's going to try and get away from him as quickly as possible. These two battled all the way through race 1 and end up being actually Field came out on top with the win. Down the grid. Ryan bends side by side, Ryan on the outside of the S's. That's a penalty move. He's now going to look to chase the cars ahead of Shane Bellotti and Evans by mistake. The Mercedes power coming on the outside of the wall to the chicane. Will he look to make the move? Ben's made the mistake. He's in the wall. That's it now for Perez. He's gonna. It looks like he got the speed down as quick as possible. He's been rejoining the back, but it's a shame to see him. He's doing really well up there in 4th place. Luca and Ash still battling there for 1st place. Ash is on the back of Townsend. Luca knows that Ash has got the pace around here. He had to fend him off the entirety of this one. Field making a move around the outside, going towards the S's, trying his best to make that stick. But Lucas slotted back in front of him, so we'll have to see whether he can make the move into the chicane. Behind them, Shane Bellotti looks to be getting away from Ryan Powell. Ryan will be trying to gain back on him as quick as possible. It's my mistake, it's Declan Evans. Ryan has gone past Shane Bellotti. The battle behind him, James Allen looking to go through cleanly, see if they made it all through. Doesn't look like they've had any issues going through the chicane again. They're all very widely bunched as they're going around the sweeping right hand, but they've all got through this one safely. So halfway mark now, and Luca Townsend is still sat in 1st place. Ashley Field is really on his trying to get that position again. He knows where he's stronger than Townsend. He's already made that move once before in the 1st race. It'll be interesting to see if he's going to make that move again going into turn 1. They really go as close to the wall as they possibly can. Ryan Powell is right on the back of Declan Evans into 3rd place. He's going to want that podium again. Definitely do everything in his power to keep that 3rd place and get his 1st podium in quite a while. Battle for 8th looks to be the main one, as you've got the car running wide. There was that Jake, who was that? That was Stephen Cumming, apologies, both of them in the BCR Mercedes. Nathan Rutherford and we've got a car on the wall! Was that Stephen Cumming? That looked like it was. Did anyone else get caught in that one? He looks like he's managed to get it going again. Trying to get going out of the way. Is that going to be another safety car? Is he managing to get himself... No, he's got himself safely out of the way. That is a shame. Impressive performance in race 1 and 2. Sorry, impressive performance in race 2 after a disappointing race 1. But he's got himself now, and he's had the issue. But now we have to go back to the front of the grid. He's got himself out of the way, so there's not going to be a safety car call this time. But now we're back at the front. Luca Townsend sat in 1st place. Ashley Field in the Honda right behind him. Then behind them, just getting up, you can just see in the background as Ryan Powell has gone up the inside of Declan Evans into the Ashes. That is a decent move. He loves the move around there. Evans will be going back in as quick as possible. He's trying to get into the slipstream, looking to possibly make that move into the inside onto the chicane. He looks like he's just not going to have the pace on him. He looks like he's gaining now, but they know about the issues that's been going on that chicane, so they haven't made that move. But that's a decent move for Ryan Powell. He finds himself back into 3rd place. Shane Bly still having an impressive drive in 5th, with the newcomer James Allen on the back of him, as that is Stephen Cumming moving out of the way on the track. He's got himself moving again, but he's getting out of the way. James Allen in 6th, then we've got the gap back to 7th place of Andrew Lawrence, then 8th of Nathan Rutherford's gap. Got his gap now to Phil Garside and Kieran McKeldin, who from a disappointment of race 2 has made himself up to 10th place. That's a decent drive again by the Audi TCR driver. He's definitely finding himself more pace in this car. Going back through the grid, we've got Robert Newman, who from starting on 1st, who'll be extremely disappointed to find himself now sat in 11th place, as he looks to hold off. It looks to be the cars of Carl Cully, Conor Ambrose. I believe that was Jay Cohen and Callum Kirkpatrick, the podium sitters from race 2, and also Brandon Russo. They've got some podium sitters behind them, so real pace. They find themselves back at the front as Ashley Field and Luca Townsend are disappearing from 3rd place of Ryan Powell, and they're looking to make moves. Ash is really eyeing up a possible position swap here. But Luca Townsend, we know the pace spots. They both take to the grass slightly on the exit of the chicane. Ryan Powell's definitely got his gap now to Shane. Shane Bly is now lost out to James Allen. That's a decent climb up for... This is a decent position to be finding himself for what is his 3rd OMA race, especially in the touring cars. The competitiveness here is high all the way through the grid. But for him to find himself in 5th place on what is just his 3rd, it's a great start to what could be a promising career here. Field doesn't look like he's in a position to be making that move as they go past Stephen Cumming, who has made himself all the way back to the pits. As we've got now 6 laps to go. Barring any issues, this will be the front 2 for quite a while. Ryan Powell looks to have disappeared from Declan Evans, who is again getting a bit of a gap to those behind, as Shane Bly now finds himself falling back through the grid. And he's now in 7th place, he's now in 8th place. He's lost out to Nathan Rutherford, and he's lost out now to Phil Garside, so this is a shame to see him dropping back, but it's still a decent drive for him to find himself in this position. Kieran McKeldin in 10th place. He's going to be looking ahead, seeing them getting past Shane Bly, and looking to see whether he can make that place as well. Back up to the front, Luca Townsend still first. 2nd place, you're still finding the MCE Honda of Ashley Field, sponsored by Logitech, obviously with the confetti on his car for his birthday. And this is a decent drive he's having himself for what is his 21st, I believe, if I've got that correctly. He gives a bit of a bump to Luca, letting him know he's there. He's got that pace through that final turn, but he was probably trying to find the inside line. Let's see if he can get him in the braking zone. He's making the move, he's looking. Not his place yet, but Luca knows he's there now. He knows what he's going to be looking at. That final section really does suit Ashley Field. Up for the S's, the Honda hasn't quite got the pace through there. It sticks to the track nicely, but it's mainly on that back sector after the chicane that you'll find that Honda having the pace. Although it looks like he's got a decent drive out of the S's. Has he got enough to make the move on the inside of the Chevrolet? He's looking, but again, it's one of those positions, if you're going to make the move, you've got to make sure you make it stick on that one. As you can see, he's all over the back of Townsend now to try and get this position. Still, Luca Townsend first. Closely followed still by Ashley Field. I'm not going to be disappearing away from this bit up. Ryan Powell 3rd, 4th, Declan Evans 5th, James Allen 5th, Andrew Lawrence 6th, is Phil Garside 8th, is Nathan Rutherford. So there's been a swap there between himself and Lawrence, with Garside staying in his position. 9th is now Kieran McKeldin, who's gone past Shane Bly, who's now sat in 10th and dropping back, so disappointing for him, but 10th is still a very good position for him. 11th, Carl Cully. 12th, Robert Newman. 13th, Conor Ambrose, who's getting himself back up through the grid after that trip to the pits. 14th, Callum Kirkpatrick. 15th is Brandon Roos. 16th, Jake Ewan, who those three obviously sat there with the ballast after their performance of race 2. Who we just want to be quite as far back as they are, but you can't really help it with the damage they have, with the handicap they've got. And you've got Ali Johnson in 18th, who's got to the back of Mark Roddick in 17th, who is in the back of that podium finishing pile. And then you've got 19th Ben Johnson, who might find himself under attack from the leaders in a second, and of course 20th is Stephen coming out of the stage, so he's a lap down. Let's go back keep an eye on these two at the front, because this battle is going to be heating up and is going to keep going until the end. All you can see is the back of that Chevrolet. Luca Townsend is really under siege here from Ashley Field. He wants that win. Ashley Field will find he's NASCARing him through the final turns as he's looking to make that move. The Honda has pace through that final sector. I know I mentioned it before, but that is where you will find Ashley Field making that move if he's going to make it. He looks to get a decent run to the S's, both from run slightly wide, using as much curb as they are physically allowed. Ryan Powell, you can see him in the background. He's not going to be gaining on these two. It's all up to these two to see who's going to get the win here in race 3. These two, of course, being the podium finishers of race 1. Luca did take second place, with Ashley Field taking him and getting the race 1 win. At least this time you know that Luca knows where Ash is going to be strong. And these two have been battling for seasons and seasons of these two being the top runners. Ash looks to make a run on the outside. He's going to try to do a decent run on the inside, try and get up the inside, but Luca parks on the apex. And Ash is there contact on the outside as he tries to make the move. He's going to make it, he's going to be under braking. He's looking right, he's looking left, he's trying to get that gap to that JSB Chevrolet. He's not quite getting it yet as we enter in the penultimate lap. We're going through that final corner, entering his here, which will be the going on to lap 17 out of 18. As Ash is really high on the inside, he's got a decent run. He's got himself alongside. This is what he did in race 1. He got that move made on the first turn. Luca's going to squeeze him, he wants to get the better run. It's hard to tell whether he's got him. Luca's kept that position. Great defence by the driver. Luca is, of course, holding on to the fastest lap at the moment, so he is going to be getting that bonus point. But Luca now knows... Ash, I knew he'd be making that move into turn 1. He just got to get that run on him. He's made his one try. Has he now made it too early, and is he going to be falling off now and not be able to make that move again as he looks to make it inside on the chicane? Oh. That's a brave move to make it there. As we look down the grid, I can see that Shane Bellotti has really dropped back now. Real shame, he was running in 10th, but I can see that he's now down in 14th as he's getting swallowed by the mid-pack. But I'm not taking my eyes off these two, as this is the battle for the lead. Luca Townsend and Ashley Field, 2 stars of OMA. Ash right on the back of Luca. Is he going to be making that move again through the final turn into the first corner? He looks to have got a decent run. He's going to want to avoid to make any contact whatsoever as Ben Berenson, the Swedish driver, sat down in 19th place, is potentially going to be getting in the way here for this final lap. He's going to want to get out of that position as quick as possible, because these two will not want to slow down for anything. Ash is tucking in behind Luca as much as he can. He needs the drive out of the S's. If his last chance is going to be either out of the final, into the final few corners, or into the chicane, which are the main overtaking points here. Ash is looking like he's getting a run. He's going to look at the inside of Luca here, but Luca's going to defend it well. He's not quite got the pace. These two are battling, haven't they? Have been for laps now. This is one of the greatest battles we've had here. Bit of an issue there, and Ben Berenson's got out of the way. Apologies for the replay cutting out there. This is not what we need. Luca's run slightly wide. It does look like that's it though. That does look like Luca's got enough of a gap to keep hold of that position. Ashley Field, he battled for laps and laps, but he just couldn't get it up on him again. And I see at the top that Shane Bellotti has dropped down now to 16th. Shame to see him dropping back, but here we go through the final corner. Luca Townsend, JSB Chevrolet, is going to keep hold of first place. What a battle these two had. Ashley Field will take second place. Third for Ryan Powell. He did gain up on them in the end, but he couldn't get enough to get the position. Fourth is gonna hold on. Is it Declan Evans? As he's got James Allen right on going out to the line. He does keep fourth. Decent place for him. Fifth, James Allen. Sixth, Phil Garside. Seventh, Nathan Rutherford. Eighth is going to be Kieran McKeldin. That's a decent finish for him. Ninth, Andrew Lawrence. 10th, Connor Ambrose. 11th, Kyle Cully. 12th, Brandon Roos. 13th, Callum Kirkpatrick. 14th, Jake Owen. 15th, Ali Johnson. 16th eventually goes to Shane Bellotti. 17th, Mark Roddick. 18th does go to Robert Newman, who will be extremely disappointed with that. After starting first, that is not what he wanted to do, but so we can push on from this and get a better finish as it goes on. 19th for Ben Braxton, and 20th place would go to Stephen Cumming, but he has unfortunately had to retire. But what a race that was between Luca Townsend as he's taken race 3's win. brilliant race to start off what is round 1, 2 and 3 of season 19 of the OMA Touring Car Championship. They've been waiting for this as the season's gone on. Fastest lap of the race has ended up going to Luca Townsend, your race winner. As for some reason it looks like Stephen Cumming did manage to go 391 miles per hour in that race. Might have to be checking the legality of that Mercedes, but decent race from Luca Townsend. Again, Ashley Field pushed him all the way to the line, and a decent third place again for Ryan Powell. He'll be happy with the way he started this season. So, as we've now finished race 3, decent racing throughout. As we look at the end results of that one, you can see that it was Luca Townsend, Ashley Field, Ryan Powell, Declan Evans, decent 4th place in that Chevrolet, 5th, James Allen. His best finish now since his return, his joining of OMA. Joined this season, picked up by the MCE team. Ended up going to Phil Garside, who got 6th in race 1 as well, so he'll be happy to have a bit of consistency there. 7th, Nathan Rutherford. 8th, Kieran McKeldon, his best finish of the season so far. I know this is only round 1, but it's always good to see a driver getting better as they go through. Carl Cully takes 10th. 11th, Brandon Roos. Conor Ambrose in the Audi did take 12th, he'll be happy with that. 13th went to Callum Kirkpatrick. You won't be too happy with that one. Callum does prefer to be up as high as he can in the grid. 14th, Jake Owen, but bear in mind that those two did obviously have their ballast. Ali Johnson, after the earlier issues, did end up coming back in 15th. 16th for Shane Bellotti. He'll be happy that he's ended up in the point scorer, but he did have a disappointment, of course, in the way that race did go for him. He was on course for a decent position of at least 5th at one point, but it wasn't to be. He kept dropping back. 17th went to Mark Roddick. 18th goes to Robert Newman, who after starting in pole, he won't be too happy with that, but we know for a fact that he's one of those that he knows when he can improve, and he will not be wanting to leave it at that. He will be pushing on as the season goes. But after we've finished what is round 1 to 3 of the OMA Touring Car Championship, we can now confirm that the current championship leader is Ashley Field, birthday boy himself, sitting on 73 points. 2nd is Luca Townsend on 69, and 3rd is Ryan Powell on 65. Thank you very